தமிழா தமிழா நாளே நம் நாளே, ஈழா தமிழா நாடடும் நம் நாடே. தமிழா தமிழா நாளே நம் நாளே, ஈழா தமிழா நாடடும் நம் நாடே. என் வீடு ஈழ நாடு என்றே சொல்லடா, என் நாமம் ஈழ என்றே என்றும் நில்லடா. தமிழா தமிழா நாளே நம் நாளே, ஈழா தமிழா நாடும் நம் நாடே.
I join in the remembrance of Tamil victims of the war in Sri Lanka that ended on the 18th of May 2009. Close to 146,000 Tamils lost their lives in 6 decades of struggling for self-determination. So on this Remembrance Day, it's important that we honor the Tamil victims and we inspire ourselves to continue their struggle for justice, freedoms, and reparation for their losses. The United Nations investigations determined that during the war in Sri Lanka, international crimes such as war crimes and crimes against humanity were committed, and yet there has been no judicial mechanism, no perpetrators have been brought to justice. And recently, in a cynical move, the president pardoned and released from prison the only one soldier, an army sergeant, who had been convicted by the courts and sentenced to prison for killing 8 civilians, including a child. And he was just released by the president last month. This is a far cry from justice. Tamils continue in Sri Lanka to suffer all kinds of prejudice, discrimination, and violation of their human rights. The lands that were stolen from them by the military have still not been restored, and the Tamil language has now been excluded from the national anthem. In the past, there were always 2 languages, and almost 200 people are still in detention. This is why, because of the continuing violations of the rights of Tamils, all of us should join the international community in collective action to realize the rights of Tamils people, to ensure that they have justice and reparation redress in Sri Lanka. Thank you.
Vanakkam and fraternal greetings to each and every one of you. Every May 18th, the members of the Tamil community from all parts of the world pay homage to the Mullivaikkal Remembrance Day to claim for justice for the victims of the massacres that took place in Sri Lanka between 1983 and 2009. This act brings together thousands of people in different cities of the world, where the Tamil diaspora and freedom-loving people come together to remind the world of the atrocities committed during the final stages of the war in Sri Lanka. Let us strengthen our 54th ANC conference resolution on Sri Lanka that calls for the creation of an environment conducive for fair and equitable participation of all credible representatives in genuine negotiations towards a lasting political solution in Sri Lanka. Nandri, I thank you.
கடவுள் பெயரினால மதிப்புக்குரிய பெரியோர்களுக்கு, நண்பர்களுக்கு எனது அன்புமிக்க வணக்கம். Friends and fellow Tamilians throughout the world, the atrocities that were waged against the Tamils of Sri Lanka must rate as one of the greatest violations of human rights in world history. The Sri Lankan government tried to convince the world that the atrocities had come to an end in Tamil North. In many ways, the violations and debilitating policies and treatment against the Tamilians have continued. And it is therefore incumbent upon us as the diaspora of Tamilians throughout the world to intensify our support for this cause and apply a collective pressure on world leaders to refocus on the unabated violation of human rights and justice in Tamil Sri Lanka.
Vanakkam. The Solidarity Group for Peace and Justice in Sri Lanka annually observes May 18 Mullivaikkal Remembrance Day to commemorate the massacre of over 100,000 Tamil civilians during the final stages of the war in Sri Lanka. The SGPJ has persistently called for the establishment of an accountability mechanism to hold those responsible for the genocide of Tamils to be prosecuted at the International Criminal Court. In 2015, the SGPJ hosted the International Conference for Peace and Justice in Sri Lanka. This conference developed a blueprint on the way forward and produced the Durban recommendations. These recommendations offer a way forward towards realizing a peaceful political settlement to the ethnic conflict. On this day, let us reaffirm our commitment to work together to achieve this peaceful solution. Nandri, Vanakkam.
ஈழத்தமிழா கண்கள் கலங்காதே விதயம் விதயம் உள்ளம் மயங்காதே ஈழத்தமிழா கண்கள் கலங்காதே விதயம் விதயம் உள்ளம் மயங்காதே உனக்குள்ள ஈழ ரத்தம் உண்டா இல்லையா தமிழா நாளை நம் நாளே ஈழா தமிழா நாடும் நம் நாடே.
And I just want to say very much that I hope there will be a reconciliation in Sri Lanka, accountability for what has gone before us, what's happened in the past, and long-term peace in Sri Lanka. Nandri.